Welcome back, and yes, again. If you haven't already watched the first two videos, I recommend you do so before watching this one, as I will be building upon them. In the first video, I have been explaining why it is so much more difficult for you to be successful and fulfilled in your business than it is for a man. And you probably knew why already, but maybe, just maybe, you didn't really want to know it. In the second video, I shared what I believe is the big secret to being successful in life and business. And again, you may not have expected what that is. So you now know that you need to decide what you won't tolerate anymore. You also need to decide that you won't settle for less than what makes your heart sing. And to ease your journey, you also want to decide to surround yourself with like minded women who, like you, want to dream bigger and dare more. These decisions imply clarity. Clarity is key. You need to be clear about many more things, but the main thing you need clarity about is what your destination is. In other words, what is your vision? As I often say, not having a vision is like going on a long journey but forgetting to enter an address in your GPS. You could land anywhere. Let's now look at what else you need. There are a lot of necessary components, whether they relate to business skills or personal development. But the elements I want to be focusing on today are, how shall I say, are, well, foundational to the success of your journey of growth. And they may once more not be what you expect them to be. The first thing you want to address is fear, because let's face it, stepping out of the familiar is very scary, but it's not a reason to let it paralyze you. So, what can you do about that? Well, the very first thing is not to feel guilty about it. Fear is absolutely normal. Every single human being, whether they know it or not, operate from a place of fear. And that will be like that until their last breath. I don't have enough time in this video to explain why that is, so just accept, if I may ask that is just what it is. However, it's not because it is so that you should let it paralyze you. Let's start by looking at what fear is. I have a very simple definition. Fear is nothing more than the anticipation of something that may happen but that probably won't. In other words, it's not a fact. All it is a thought that you're creating here. There are 5 simple steps to transform fear into fuel instead. Step 1 is to identify that you are operating from a place of fear, and that's recognizing things like procrastination or perfectionism, for instance. Step 2 is to ask yourself what you're afraid of. Step 3 is to ask yourself if you can be sure that it will happen. Let me give you another hint. It can't be, given it has not happened yet. Step 4 is to deconstruct it by finding counterproof. Step 5 is to take focused action, because the antidote to fear is action. Think about it. How often have you been dreading something, and the moment you get started with it, you think, was that all there was about it? So, next, let's look at letting go of the how. Once you know where you want to go, you don't need to know how to get there. Just trust that since you entered an address in your GPS, even if there are roadblocks on the way, your GPS will bring you to your destination. To make another car analogy, when you are traveling by night, all you can see in front of you is what your lights allow you to see. Nonetheless, the road unfolds in front of you as you move along. The other element I want to be looking at is your base camp. You choosing to step up will generate reactions around you that quite often will be negative ones. Whether the people who care for you are worrying for you, afraid to see you fail, or whether they are secretly jealous because you are doing something that they don't have the courage to do, the matter of the fact is that a lot of people will do their best to discourage you. Again, don't let that deter you. Just avoid talking about your project with them and instead surround yourself with women on a similar journey. Follow also women who are what I call expanders. I didn't coin that term, but expanders are people you have things in common with. They may have had a similar journey, but they have already achieved what you want to achieve. In other words, people will show you that what you want for yourself is actually achievable. These are a few of the foundational elements that will help you on your journey towards a more daring you. If I summarize again, decide that you want to step up to reach your full potential. Be clear what you want your life to look like. Leverage fear as a fuel instead of letting it paralyze you. Let go of the how it will happen. Create a base camp that will support you. In the following video, I will share with you how 3 of my clients have seen their lives transformed after deciding to step up and come closer to achieving their potential. Thank you for watching, and if you have any question or comment, as usual, feel free to let me know, reach out, and I will be happy to answer. Thank you.